All right, so we talk about now, like we talk about how to create groups, how it organizes data into, we take a column and we're going to break it into its unique values, and then we're going to add each like kind of row that goes with those unique values into their own group. So we talk about like having like all the different 12 different months, maybe data for each day in that month. We can group all of the month data together, which might be interesting because we could look at, for example, in this data set, there's a lot about like snow and for different precipitations. So you could look at like in groups, like how much on average, how much precipitation or the sum of the precipitation within that month, and we can compare those from month to month. So we're going to look here but we can also apply some. So what I'll focus on is like what kind of methods can we apply to this? And it's going to be a quick one. We can use with a group by function, group by objects. We can treat them a lot like data frames. So we can use things like sum or mean directly onto our group by objects. All right, so let's go back to this one. We have our groups in here where we're grouping by month. We did some printing some stuff here. Let's go through and let's do print. We want to do groups, and we can do precipitation. Precipitation. And then we can actually run sum directly on that. So if you run this through, so that's going to look through all of the groups, find the row for precipitation within each group, and then it's going to spit out the sum of each one of those months. Okay. One thing you might notice in here is that there's this, in the 5th month, there are some negative values, which doesn't make a lot of sense for precipitation. And so this is kind of what goes into in the document here. We get negative 5.9 here. The issue is that when we look back through the precipitation for some of these months, some of the values are negative 1, which means maybe like a value wasn't recorded, and that could be like a placeholder. Negative 1's like a common placeholder for other values. So we go through here and we can also replace all those values, and basically we find negative 1, we should change it into 0. So we can do that here. Let's say we're going to make a new data frame. It's going to be a copy of data frame 3, just so we don't kind of mess up data frame 3 for whatever reason. I guess we really don't care for this. Yeah, maybe I'm just going to... Anyways, whatever. I'll just do it like this so it's consistent with what's in the document. So we're going to do that, and then let's see, in the document we are going to go through, we're talking about like this part right here. So we want to go through and basically replace any of the values where the precipitation was negative 1 within this column. We're going to set that value to be 0. So basically what we're doing here is we're going to create a mask, and we are looking through WH4 for precipitation. Why isn't it like autocorrect this for me? I'll complete this for precipitation. We want to set any of these values. We want to create a mask for any of these values where it's negative 1. We want to look through WH4 using loc. We want to apply a mask to get only the rows where this is correct. And then we want to pull out the thing that is stored inside of precipitation. We really want to like set this value like that. So creating a mask, getting only the rows where this value is negative 1. And then when we run loc on here, we're going to pass it in as the mask. This is going to be the row. And so we're going to set like an individual cell within that to be 0. And let's see, anything else we have to do on this one? Yeah, so we should be able to then run... oh, this is groups. Groups is still on WH3. So let's update groups down here. Doing the same thing, but we're going to be accessing group 4, or the data frame 4, group by month. And then we'll run the precipitation here. So basically what we should see is that this one should repeat this value, and then in this one we should see something not negative here, because we're getting rid of all those negative values. So you can see in the first example, first instance, we have negative 5 in position number 5. And then down here you can see in position 5, now we have 16.1 because those negative values are taken out. I guess the last thing I would add is that we can group a lot of these things together. We're breaking these into individual parts, but we could do something like W3 groups W3 dot group by month. That would be a group by itself, and then we could do, from this we could do precipitation. And then we could do dot sum. And then if we do that, get basically the same thing out, just simplify, just in a single line. Okay, boom. Oh, we did W4 here. There we go. All right, so that's how we can use groups. Group by.